Okay, I think we're good. All right, guys, thank you so much for hopping on with us. We're very excited to be talking to you guys about social media and branding yourself. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Katie Flynn, and my sister and my diamond coach, Erica Flynn, is going to be co-hosting with me tonight. So we're super excited again, and we're just going to dive in, give you guys some great tips, and feel free in the group when we're done to ask any questions. We'll be more than happy to answer those as well. But tonight we're going to be talking about some different outlets of social media and how to utilize them to grow your businesses and do's and don'ts that we have learned just by trial and error and by other coaches on the team that have helped us out as well. When we first started, Erica and I were just challengers ourselves, and we started the coaching. Well, I actually started the coaching opportunity first, and I really just started to do it for the discount. And I had no interest whatsoever in starting to run challenge groups or anything like that in the beginning. But I started sharing my story anyways on social media, even before I signed up to coach. I was just sharing my progress. I was doing TurboFire back in the day. I was sharing my progress on Instagram and Facebook, and that's when my coach, Nikki, was like, you're really already kind of doing what a coach does anyway, so you should, just actively dive in and start doing it. So sharing my story on social media came pretty naturally in the beginning just because we were doing that anyways. But when we signed up to actually coach, we learned all these different ways to present ourselves and to grow this into a business. And now Erica and I are full-time coaches. We had no interest in coaching whatsoever. And then we both started out for the discount, and now we're both full-time. So you can see how this really can take off if you want it to, just from growing it from social media. I am like an extreme introverted person. I don't want to go in public and sell things to people at parties. I don't want to go set up booths and do things like that. I don't want to be on the phone with people really, which some coaches actually have great success with that. But just some examples of like I really am more comfortable behind the computer and in my comfort zone of talking to people through just Facebook and Instagram, which is kind of crazy that you can grow something like this through just social media alone. It's just really, really incredible, and that you can reach people all over the country, and now since we're in Canada and hopefully someday worldwide, we can just reach all these people daily that we have never met before. So it's truly, truly incredible. Again, we're just going to dive in and give you some tips, but let me just get this slide up here so you can see. Erica, can you see that? Okay, cool. All right, so again, yeah, here's Erica and I. Between the two of us, lost 110 pounds. But I just wanted to quickly touch on the subject of just branding yourself in general. I am not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a fitness expert. I'm none of those things. What I am is somebody that found success through using Beachbody programs. I saw the opportunity in this, and I ran with it. And Erica did the same because we, again, were just so passionate about sharing our story and wanting to help others do the same. So it doesn't have to be a physical transformation that is, your why or what got you to love Beachbody or what continues to be your story. It does not have to be physical. It can be mental, spiritual, whatever your transformation may be. But I think it's cool that you can find these things that you love to post about and share about, and you don't have to be an expert in all those things. Like, I'm not a a fitness expert. I don't have any certifications. I don't even have a college degree. I'm not even a marketing expert. I have literally no credibility whatsoever to my name, but I'm a successful coach because I literally just share on social media. Like, how crazy is that? So you don't have to be all these big, amazing things in the fitness world or as far as like being a dietitian or nutritionist, whatever it may be. You don't have to be those things, and you don't have to post about just those certain things. You can find the things that you're comfortable with about posting and just share those things and just go from there as far as what are your 3 to 5 things you love and what makes you the coach that you have become. So you don't have to be an expert in anything. I just wanted to start with that.
Perfect. So I really love this, and what it talks about is reiterating that social media is not a place that sales happen. It's where you market yourself. So what we're going to talk about today with social media and the different outlets and the ones that we really use and that most coaches use quite frequently, it's talking about all the groundwork that you're laying leading up to those like call to action posts, join my challenge group, or would you like to be a part of my glance into coaching group. All of the stuff that you're doing in branding your business is laying the foundation for that amazing stuff that we count on to get people involved in our business. So there's almost 400 some thousand coaches in Beachbody, and we are literally all sharing we all have the same products, the same programs that we're offering to people, but the only thing that we have that's unique is just ourselves. That's the only thing that we get to use to separate ourselves from the next coach. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Facebook, because that is I would say 9 out of 10 coaches, that's like the main platform that everybody starts their coaching business with, because typically that's your warm market. Those are your friends. So Katie's going to kind of touch on that one first.
Okay, guys. Yeah, just to kind of piggyback that as well. There's so many different social media outlets. There is Twitter and Pinterest, YouTube, blogging. Now we have Periscope and all these crazy things. But if you are a semi-newer coach on here, you're just getting your business rolling, I suggest just to focus on a few different social media outlets. And of course, like Erica said, the biggest one is definitely Facebook. And then we're also going to talk more about Instagram as well. But I don't suggest overwhelming yourself with 8 to 9 or 10, whatever, crazy amount of social media outlets, because there's just, so much, and it's just going to overwhelm you. Like, for example, I am not a great writer, so I don't ever foresee myself ever having a blog. I think it's incredible that coaches can do that if they have, the knack for writing. But I personally can't ever see myself doing that because I'm just not a great writer. So I just suggest finding a couple that you think that you want to really learn more about and run with. And Facebook especially, you can do a Facebook personal profile, obviously, and then Facebook likes page. So there's actually two different outlets within one that you can really start to learn more about. But we're just going to go through with some tips. The first one is when you go to your Facebook, you want to make sure that it's appealing to everybody that's actually viewing it. So 2 things. First of all, your profile picture. You want it to be obviously you. You want it to be something that's a clear, great picture of yourself, the picture that you think that you personally love the most of yourself. Make that your profile picture. And also just remember that it's great to share things about your family. Maybe you're married, you have kids, whatever, but you want to have your profile picture be you, because if you're chatting with somebody about a challenge group or joining the coaching opportunity, if they're just seeing a picture of your husband or your baby, it's just going to be confusing for them. And to really be able to match that face with who they're talking to is just a lot easier for them, in a way to start branding yourself throughout different social media outlets. So your profile picture, nice and clear. It doesn't have to be a professional picture or anything like that. If you do have professional pictures, that's amazing, but it does not have to be anything super professional. Just, we'll talk more about selfies later on in the webinar, but take a nice selfie, and that could be your profile picture. For your cover photo, you can see a lot of coaches like Jen Richardson, Stephanie Chico, Nikki Whiting. Eric and I both have them too. Making a cover photo that explains a little bit about you just in one picture is really great, because then they're coming to your page and they're seeing, 3 or 4 things about you. I'm engaged. I love my dog. I have lost 60 pounds. Just like a few quick things in a few different pictures, just so they know what your page is about, is really helpful when people are first coming to your Facebook page. As far as making your profile public, this is completely up to you guys. Obviously, it's going to ultimately be your decision. I personally recommend making it public because then obviously you're going to be able to reach a lot more people. Some people choose to make their profiles private for maybe different job reasons, if you're maybe a teacher or if your husband's job doesn't allow it. And obviously that's a different case, and it has to be private. But you have the option when you're making posts, you guys, to actually make a post public. So your page can be completely private, and whatever you're posting, if it's like about your kids or whatever and you don't want anybody to see that, that's fine. Only your friends will see that. But you can make a post public just by clicking that little down arrow, and you can make it public just for maybe a challenge group post or a join my team post. So whatever your post may be, you can make it public. So that's completely up to you. I keep my profile completely public anyways because I feel like with social media, you're committing to building your business from it, and I just feel like the more people I can reach, the better. So I just keep mine public for that reason. People are crazy and they're going to find you anyways if they really wanted to. So I just keep it public. Okay, next thing is, I'm going to kind of bounce around through these, but so changing your tagging preferences. This is something I did not know existed, and when I found this option on Facebook, it was such a game changer because if you ever have that one Facebook friend, I think we all have one, if not two, where they will tag you in every single thing on Facebook. Every funny video they see, every funny picture they see, they tag you in everything. And it's going to show up on your timeline, obviously. So what I did was go into my settings and made it so only I could have things on my timeline that I only approved. So say Erica posts something and she tags me in it, I will get a notification that says, Erica Flynn tagged you in a post, and I can either put it on my wall or choose to hide it. I don't put, too much. I think I have right now 600 pending posts to go on my wall. But I just have a couple Facebook friends that tag me in so many things that are just irrelevant. When I have people coming to my page, again, my Facebook to me is a place to run my business from. I don't feel the need to have 300 Pinterest recipes pinned to my page, or my Facebook friends tagging me again in every single thing that they post, because when people come to my page, I'm obviously trying to add value and posting things that are relevant to my business and to my life, and I want people to be able to see those posts and not all the other tagged posts. So I highly recommend that, to have it so you can approve things onto your wall and only have things on your wall that you really think are necessary. As far as your posting goes, now we really want to keep a positive atmosphere on our pages. As a coach, when you sign up, I feel like I tell this to my team all the time, you almost lose the right to be negative at all on social media. It's just not going to do your business any good. I am one of those people that used to post the most negative things on social media all the time. It was so terrible. Any bad day, just huge rants on Facebook. It was just ridiculous how negative I was. And now, as a coach, we are the people that are trying to break up that negativity on the timeline. We want to add value to people's lives. We want to be positive. We want to keep them motivated and keep inspiring them. So that's why we want to stay super positive. I'm going to flip real quick. But this was something that I saw on social media that made me crack up so much, because, the election season is coming up, and it's just, it's not something that we want to be getting ourselves involved in social media. I mean, unless your job is literally you work for some political party doing, I don't even know what you'd be doing, but unless you're actually doing that, I don't recommend whatsoever posting about politics. So I'm not going to sway you anyway, being Democratic or Republican. I just think everybody should be a part of the pizza party if you're a Beachbody coach, because it's just not smart to be starting these big rants on Facebook as far as political standpoints, because all it does is draw out all the negative people on your Facebook, and then your Facebook wall turns into this big discussion zone of people arguing back and forth. So that's just an example of something that I don't post ever on social media. So staying super positive, and there's a difference, guys. There's a huge difference between being ourselves and being raw and real, and sharing, bad days maybe, things that happen to us, and things that are real life situations. Like right now, Josh and I are in the process of moving into our condo, and it's been a hell of a struggle. We have things back ordered, and Josh was putting together my desk the other day and completely snapped a piece of wood in half, and just like super frustrating things. But I've been sharing along the way, but making them into like funny stories, or putting a spin on it where it's like finding the good that came out of it. You can share these things because not everybody's lives are perfect. If you go on somebody's Facebook wall and everything is la la, everything's perfect, that's not really a relatable person. So there's a difference between being negative and sharing struggles along the way. And people love to see those struggles as well, as long as you're, making some sort of positive turn of it, or making it into a funny thing. That's totally fine. Okay, so as far as what you're posting, the timing of your post is super critical, because Facebook is just one big logistical monster, and we want to make sure that our posts that we're putting a lot of time into are going to actually be seen. So this is a lot of trial and error, you guys, because I used to think there was one prime time on Facebook, and the prime time was between 6:30 and 8:30 p.m. for everybody. And that's what I would tell my team. That's prime time. That's when you should make all your important posts. But I started to realize that everybody's prime time is different. You have to find what works for you. Some people have a really great outcome with their posts between like 7 and 9 in the morning. Now that's never been me. I've never really been successful with super early morning posts or super late at night posts. I've always kind of been one of those like post dinner time posters, and that's what works for me. But I found that through trial and error, you will find your prime time. So if you get crickets on a post, that's totally fine. That happens to everybody. I still get crickets on my post because I still do a lot of trial and error and figuring out what works for me, and what times of day and what days of the week are great to be posting on. I will say, though, I think pretty much any coach would agree with me across the board that weekends, like Friday nights, Saturday night, is just pretty terrible because people are so busy. I mean, think about how busy you are on the weekend. A lot of people aren't going to be sitting on Facebook, so I don't ever really have great success on the weekends. But you will find your prime time and what works for you. Okay, so expanding your market. We talk a lot about, breaking into your cold market and realizing that if you start coaching with 500 friends on your Facebook list, obviously you're going to tap that fairly quickly. So you want to continually be expanding that market and friend requesting 3 to 5 people daily, which is, something that's super basic. We all learn that in Coach Basics, but I think even coaches that have been around for a while tend to let that slip and forget about that, and that's something that's so important to be continually doing. So expanding that market just through friend requests. And a lot of coaches track their friend requests too, because there's Facebook jail, which, knock on wood, I've not been put in Facebook jail in the longest time, but it does happen. If you're friend requesting, like way too many people in one day, 10 plus or something, you're probably going to be put in Facebook jail. So just, setting a time aside in your day to be doing those 3 to 5 requests, and then going back and looking. If you go into your friends, you can actually go into your friend requests and see who hasn't accepted it. If it's a decent amount of time later, you're probably better off just canceling it, because Facebook will use that against you. If you have too many friend requests that are pending, then that's something that could land you in Facebook jail. So definitely being mindful of that so you don't end up getting penalized by Facebook, because again, they're just crazy about everything and they just make it so hard for us. So we have to be smarter than them. Okay, and also with expanding your market too, going into likes pages. Now, this is something that people get really frustrated with, and I think that's completely normal because it's something that you have to be really, really consistent with to see the benefits in the future. You can't just throw in the towel, like start a likes page and a week later be like, oh man, I haven't gotten anybody from it and I only got like 2 likes on my picture, so I'm just going to give up. You just can't do that. You have to stay consistent with it. It's something that slowly builds over time. But if you are consistent with it and you are continually growing that number and posting on there, then the benefits, in the long run can be really great. And a lot of people are starting to dive more into running Facebook ads. Sorry, I'm just going to drink real quick. Running Facebook ads, which is something that's completely optional. I in the beginning didn't do too much of that, but now that I'm starting to grow my business and tap that warm market, it's really beneficial to run these ads where you can reach people all across the country, all over Canada, just by targeting their interests and things like that. So I highly recommend, if you haven't, looking up some YouTube videos on how to run likes page ads. And that's something, again, that is completely trial and error. And don't give up, stay consistent with it and try different interests, try different targeting, different markets and things like that, so that you can start to gain more customers and challengers and even coaches through running those ads, which are really beneficial. Okay, so now on to what are you actually posting on Facebook and your Facebook likes page. So one thing that I've been doing a lot recently that I actually learned, it was a tip from Chelsea Pearson that I learned, is like, you're maybe out and about, you're in a grocery store or somewhere, you're out with your family, and all of a sudden it hits you, a great post you want to make. And it's obviously, you're in the middle of grocery shopping and you can't stop and just make this post right then. So she suggested either in your phone notes or even in like a Google Drive app, if you have it on your phone, having a place where you can continually add things to your list of things you want to post. That way you almost have like a bank of ideas that you can go back to and utilize in the future. And so you're not, getting home from the grocery store and being like, wait, didn't I have an idea for a great post? Totally forget, because I'm really forgetful like that. So being able to have, a bank of ideas to work from is super beneficial. So with what you're going to post, you have to figure out what your 3 to 5 interests are. Now, when I was just starting out as a coach, I started out fairly young. I was just, working in a salon as a cosmetologist. I didn't have, I feel like, too many interests or things that I could be posting about. And I was one of those people that was like, well, I can't do this because I'm not a mom and I don't have kids to post about. And I don't have a transformation of a post-baby body, so like I'm not going to be as successful as all these other coaches because like they all have kids and it's not fair. I was like totally one of those people, and I'm sure if you don't have kids, you've thought that before. And I'm like, I'm with you, because at first I was like, dang, like I don't have kids, I can't be a successful coach. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous. I have different things that people want to connect to me with. Not everybody out there is going to want to connect to somebody that's posting just about being a mom or something. There's other things that you can post about that are going to interest people. And those things change. That's why I have this on this slide. Those things change. This is something that Eric and I talk about all the time. We're both engaged right now, so we're massively talking or posting about wedding planning and all the things involving a wedding. Like Josh and I right now moving into our condo and into our first home. I can guarantee one of my posts a day that I'm posting about, my 3 to 5 posts daily on social media, at least one of them is about something related to this condo that we're moving into. So things that are going to happen throughout your life, are going to, be your topics about what you're talking about on social media. And it's okay to have those change because guess what? I plan on having kids in the next 4 years, so I'm going to be posting about kids and being a mom. So those things are always going to change. But just knowing in the moment what are those 3 to 5 interests that are drawing people to you right now, figuring out what are you sitting down every week and figuring out what you're going to be posting about and what keeps bringing people back to your page. What are people being most interested in? I can always tell when I post about something wedding, there's always like the same handful of girls that comment always on my wedding post. And then there's the same handful of people that always comment on my post related to my condo. So you'll have different people be relating to you for different things. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to talk about for Facebook is strategic posting and engagement. So before we make these big, posts that are important to us, say maybe join my challenge group or join my team, blah, 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 we always want to do something earlier that day to build up the affinity of our Facebook. So the more people that are being drawn to your page as far as comments and likes, then the next thing you post is going to be in their feed. That's just how Facebook works. The more you interact with people, the more that you're going to be seen. So if you're noticing that all of your posts are getting comments from coaches, you're probably only interacting with coaches on Facebook. So you need to be going and commenting and posting and liking more people's stuff from your list of people that you're working from, so that when it's time to make those important posts, they're going to be seeing it. So for example, excuse me, this is kind of blurry, but this is something I posted before I made some sort of important post. I don't know if it was that night or shortly after, but it was like, help me pick my paint color. Was I going to do the mint or was I going to do the gray? People love giving their opinions, you guys. They absolutely love giving their 2 cents, whether you want it or not. Sometimes I'll just throw some post up there where I really could care less what the outcome is that people say. But it's good to get these posts going that are going to draw more people to your page. So you can see, 85 comments in, not that long of amount of time. People were just like, I like the left, I like the right, I like the green, I like the mint, or the gray, the mint. They were just going on and giving their opinions because, again, people love giving their opinions. But this is something great that's that you can post to drive people to your page, so that when it comes time to make an important post, you're being seen more in people's feed. So I think that's enough for now for Facebook. I can barely talk, so I'll pass it on.
Okay, guys, let's talk about Instagram. I love Instagram. Kate and I were talking earlier. We said it's so cool. You click on somebody's profile and it shows, like almost 6 pictures. It's like a little quick look into somebody's life. So obviously, we want to use that social media outlet to reach even more people. I mean, of course, you're going to have some of those people from your warm market that are friends of yours from Facebook, but for me, Instagram feels like this huge, ginormous, endless opportunity of potential challengers, potential coaches, and people for you to work with in the future. So some really good tips here. I really, really like this, and it's something I actually didn't do this for a really long time, and I found that it made it easier for me to connect with people over on Facebook, because once I do make that connection with somebody on Instagram, like if I'm direct messaging with them, I do try to flip it over to Facebook just because the messaging is easier. But I like to use the same picture that I use in my profile on Facebook, use the same thing on Instagram. So when I tell them, hey, can we, are you on Facebook? Find me over there. It's the same exact picture, and then they can friend request you, and it makes it easier. Next thing about an Instagram that I'm super passionate about is making it super pretty. So first and foremost, I'm sure you've seen tons and tons of people do this, and especially coaches. They make that top little bio part really cute. And you can do that with different apps on your phone. I think the one that I use is called Symbolizer, and you just type whatever you want in there and you copy and paste it over to your Instagram profile. But that's a really fun way, because when somebody clicks on your profile, they're going to see those quick little blurbs about you. It's kind of like a Facebook cover photo, how people can have like a quick look into your life and what you're into, and you do have that opportunity to do the same type of thing in your Instagram bio. Next is having a healthy balance of post. And what we mean by that is, I'm one of those really, I mean, I wouldn't say like super organized people with Instagram, because I don't have like a template or anything that I follow, but I do pay attention and I am mindful that when it comes time, you know, if I wake up in the morning and I think, okay, I need to post to my social media, I click on my Instagram, and if I had just done, you know, my previous post was a quote, and the post before that was a selfie, and the post before that was another quote, I would think to myself, okay, I need to change it up a little bit, and I think it's probably a good time to post a recipe. Just keeping a nice flow of things, again, just like how we talked about with Facebook, you know, those 3 to 5 things that interest you. So for me, I mean, Katie, we're just cracking up lately, like how much our lives have changed in even the last 6 months. And, you know, for anybody that doesn't know me, I've been living down in Florida for the last month, and I'll be here for another month. So it's giving me this like totally new, different life almost to even post about, which has been really fun to share that with my challengers. So if you go to your page and you open it up and you feel like, wow, I have posted like a million post-workout selfies in a row and not one other thing to help engage and attract my followers to my page, it's time to really switch it up and have that, like I said, healthy balance of things that keep your audience interested, I guess would be, you know, the best way to put it. So the next thing that a lot of people don't think about, but it's really true, is using different filters within Instagram, I guess. So if you use filters, of course, like I use like a couple different apps, and Katie's going to talk about it in a little bit, but I do use some different things, you know, for like retouching and like finishing, but I only use like 1 to 2 filters for my pictures, if I filter them at all, so that everything, again, is just keeping a nice, crisp, clean, you know, nice flow on my page. As far as what you're posting, of course you want to have things that are eye-catching, and like I said, crisp and clean. And Katie, you can flip to the one with me on the little board that scared the crap out of me. This is a really good example of, what do we call it, like a scroll stopper, basically. So if you're flipping through the feed, you know, and, you know, I mean, that's a nice picture. It's, you know, it has, you know, do what you love what you do. And the gray is okay, and I'm sure if somebody stopped, they would be able to read it just fine. But instead, by using Rana and using that little white circle in the corner, it made that a lot more clear to read and would compel somebody to stop there and take a look at what you're having to say. You can flip back, Katie, thanks. So as far as hashtags, so this is a huge, huge, huge opportunity for us to gain far, far more followers every single day than what we can with Facebook. So with hashtags, this is the time for you to be extremely unique. And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of this call. You know, we all offer the same products, programs, everything, but you have to be unique and kind of stand out. So if you are hashtagging extremely generic hashtags like Beachbody Coach, and listen, we've all done it, Go back to Katie and I's pages from when we first started coaching, you know, Beachbody Coach, Shakeology, everything. You're going to gain a huge following of coaches, which is great. I mean, we all love to follow each other, but you're not going to reach people who aren't working with other coaches by just hashtagging Beachbody things. I mean, think about it. The only other people that are hashtagging Beachbody are Beachbody coaches. So you need to find things that, you know, obviously interest you. I mean, Katie and I are hashtagging about weddings and fit bride, and I'm posting, you know, hashtagging things about the beach and salt life and, you know, clean eating. And I'm like totally obsessed with Trader Joe's right now because we don't have that, you know, near where we live. So you just need to continually be creative and consistent with those too, because if you're consistently getting some nice new followers from some different hashtags that you're using, then it's nice to stay consistent with those as well, because your name and your pictures are going to pop up in those people's feeds that are clicking on those hashtags. Also, to go along with Facebook, obviously knowing your stats, and I am a huge believer in this. If you are sitting there looking at your gorgeous Instagram and these well thought out posts, you know, awesome Rana designs or awesome word swags, things that you are pouring your heart and soul into, but you are not feeling a return on it, you might need to switch things up a little bit. Katie and I are always trying to, you know, test the waters on what's working for us right now. And you know, we're both kind of into videos right now and making like the short little clips. You know, on Instagram, we're given 15 seconds to catch our audience attention, which I kind of thought about this a little bit deeper today, and it made more sense. I'm always annoyed and thinking, you know, oh, I wish I could, you know, post my full size workout, but instead, everybody on social media, their attention is so short. It's just like, you know, if you guys ever scroll and you see a really long written post, you're most likely not going to read the whole thing. And the same thing pertains to a video. So it's actually brilliant that it's only 15 seconds, because if your audience can't watch it for 15 seconds, there's a serious issue. So we are finding that videos are working really well for us. So that's something that our audience enjoys. My audience loves recipes, loves recipes, and I get a huge feedback on that. So just really taking a deeper look into what you're posting. Is your audience engaging in that with you? And if they're not, it's okay. Write it down, mark it down, maybe revisit it later and just switch things up a little bit. And just like how your content can change and your story and your interests change, that means that you might need to reach some different followers too with that. So and that all ties in with your hashtags. It all is one big melting pot together. It all matters. My last part here is work smarter, not harder. I am a huge believer in this with Instagram. None of us are perfect when it comes to social media. I mean, do you ever look at Jen Richardson's Instagram and just think, like, what the hell? This girl thinks of everything. And I promise you, she has her bad days too, where she probably feels like, I'm not creative today. And on those days where I don't feel those creative juices, I do one of two things. I go way deep back into my Instagram weeks ago, over a year ago. I've been a coach for almost 2 years at this point. I find a post that did really well. I have probably gained hundreds, if not thousands, of different followers since then, and I screenshot it, and I copy the words, and I delete it, and then I repost it. And it is the best thing ever. It is literally working smarter, not harder. If somebody remembers a post of yours from like 32 weeks ago, then you have a stage 5 clinger, because there's no way anybody will ever remember that. You know, and the same kind of goes for like your glance into coaching posts. You know, those are things that are so well thought out by you that if you have one that worked really well in the past, copy and paste your own work and repost it. It's okay to do that. The other thing I do, if I'm just really not feeling those creative juices, I go into a coach that I admire greatly, and I find something that strikes me, and I use that as inspiration. I by no means copy and paste. Don't be a copy and paster. It's so not cool. Really, really make things your own and just pull inspiration from that. If you find inspirational quotes on Pinterest, you can simply make a new background and word swag it, and it's completely your own. I think that we'll cover a couple other things that might help a little bit with Instagram too in our other quick tips. Was there any other picture examples that we were going to show, Katie? I think that was it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, it's time to talk about selfies because it's my favorite. All right, so it just sounds so stupid, right, guys? I mean, we're having a whole slide on all about selfies, but it's important because we are showing ourselves on social media every single day, so it's important to know how to rock the selfie. So, it's your page, it's your Instagram, it's your Facebook. So they want to see you. They don't want to see, a picture of just Chalene Johnson because you're doing Turbo Fire right now. They don't want to see that. They want to see you. They want to see you doing it. They want to see your post-workout sweaties and all those, things. So make sure you have a good amount of you being seen on your page. I recently stumbled across a YouTube training through Bonnie Angle. She's currently ranked number 6 in the company, and she talked about how she just posts so many pictures of herself, and it could seem like a little overdone, but if you just look at her page, she's so enthusiastic about coaching and sharing the coaching opportunity or sharing her challenge groups or sharing her excitement about something that it's really done in a tasteful way, and she always has the best selfies, I swear. So that's definitely somebody's page you want to check out. But some quick tips. You want to have some good lighting. You don't want it to be super dark or grainy, or a big ray of sun shining in your face. You want to make sure you have good lighting. A lot of coaches are onto those Lumi cases that you can get for your phone. That's basically like a light in your face. It's amazing. It's Lumee Lumi case. If you haven't seen that, you can get it on Amazon. I'm already starting to panic because I need to get a new cell phone and I might upgrade, and I'm like, what if my Lumi case doesn't fit? I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to get a new one, but they're amazing. Having a good mirror is really important too. If you look at Jen Richardson or Nikki Whiting's selfies on their post-workouts, you can see that they have awesome mirrors. You can just tell because you can't see the outsides of their mirrors. They're not being blocked by anything. It's literally just them being seen. So when Josh and I were doing all this construction, I was like, damn it, I need a good selfie mirror. I will do anything to have like a whole wall of mirrors in our new place because I don't have great mirrors where I'm at right now. But it's important because if you're going to be posting, pictures of yourself, you want it to be clear. You want people to be able to see it. Utilize the phone timer too if you have it on your phone. Or just invest in a selfie stick if you don't have those. I mean, it just sounds so silly when we're talking so much about it, but it's true. It's really important. And then also utilize all the apps that we can on our phones and be able to tune things up when necessary. I am all for posting a picture barefaced, no makeup, post-workout, sweating my butt off. I do it all the time. But if it's a post that's important to me, like a join my team type of post or a challenge group post, anything where I want it to look professional and really nice looking, I'm all for using the apps that make us look better. I am not ashamed of it. One of my favorite quotes is, maybe she's born with it, maybe it's an app that she's using. So, or maybe she's born with it, maybe it's an Instagram filter, one of those two. Don't be ashamed of it. There's a couple apps that I really love. Facetune is a great one, and then Photoshop Express, I think it is. Photoshop Express is a really great one too. Like for me personally, I'm not ashamed to say it, I get terrible acne a few times a month. So it's something that if I'm going to be posting this picture like up close and personal with a join my team, don't want my acne to be the focal point of the picture. So I go in there and I zap my pimples out. Not ashamed of it, you guys. So utilize these apps that we have at our disposal. You learn how to use them. Again, Facetune and PS Express are freaking amazing. But, you know, be raw and real sometimes too. I'm all for just being like, here I am in my post-workout, no makeup, yada, yada. But, yeah, when you're trying to look professional, utilize those apps. Faux show. So we all probably have a million of these examples in our phone, and this just killed me. Like, so, like, I just like lost it when I saw this. Erica sent it to me, and it was like, here is, you know, 35 selfies to our one picture that we actually come up with. And it's so true. You know, we always are like trial and error, like turn your head here, tweak this, move your hair, and just, you know, try to find the perfect one. So don't be ashamed of it. Everybody does it. We all try to get the best selfie as possible. So just work it and do what you can to find the best one. But I'm sure everybody's phone looks like this for sure. All right, Erica.
I suddenly regret giving you that. All right, guys, I talked about a couple of these, and we're nearing the end here. So just a couple of things that we kind of thought about after we talked about Facebook and Instagram. So when you are sharing, and I cannot express to you guys enough, just to kind of reiterate again, so much of Katie and I's success with coaching has been sharing our story and sharing it often. If you guys don't follow Ashley Campos, you need to be immediately. She is Instagram like royalty, and she has so many thousands and thousands of followers, and she shares her story like probably like daily, and I still read it every single time because she just draws her audience in such an unbelievable way. It is so vitally important to share. Whenever you share a progress picture, you know, I recommend putting the before picture on the left and the progress picture on the right. It's just the natural flow of reading left to right. The next little tip would be avoiding stock photos as much as possible. You know, it's okay to have, you know, like a picture of the 3-day refresh like in a corner and then some wording, but I cannot express to you guys enough how much seeing you in your photos will draw your audience in far more than throwing up Chalene Johnson and her perfect bangs on Facebook. It does not do anything for your business. You need to be genuine and true and show you know, hold the 3-day refresh box and invite people, you know, to your challenge group, or put up a before and after, and it doesn't have to be weight loss. I've had coaches put up before and afters of their smile and pictures that they were photographed in, which is brilliant. It's a brilliant way to show, you know, what Beachbody has done for them and you know, their story. I think I talked about these other ones, just letting other accounts inspire you and recycling your post and working smarter, not harder. Katie and I are all about that. I feel like we steal each other's stuff all the time. We literally share a brain. It's really scary how often, like, one of us will get a text from the other one saying, hi, I just posted about something like that 2 days ago. But it is totally okay to be inspired by other people. We continue to be every single day. Any other quick tips that we missed out on, Katie, that you can think of along the way? I think we covered it.
I think we covered it. But guys, just our last slide, and something else I wanted to talk about is number one, being consistent. It is so freaking important to be consistent with this, you guys. You cannot post once every few days and expect people to be excited to see your post come into their feed. You want to be somebody on social media that you are making somebody's day better. Your post is something they look forward to every single day. Not every 3 days, not every 4 days, not every 5 days. Every single day you want your followers to be like, wow, there's Erica's post, and once again, she's adding value into my life. She's making me smile. Like, I can't believe she can be this freaking positive every single day. That's the kind of person you want to be on social media. You have to be doing it every single day, 3 to 5 posts. I know it sounds like a lot, but if you just break it down, plan it out, find those things that you want to be posting about, it really is not that many times. I remember hearing Jen Richardson say this before in a webinar. There's 24 hours in a day. That's a long time. You know, spread them out. Spread them out throughout the day, and you will have no problem posting multiple times a day. But being consistent is key, and I have had times in my business where I have lapsed in consistency, and I have seen the outcome of it and how it can affect me. You know, just this past month, again, I'm repeating myself. Josh and I are trying to move into our first home, and it has been ultra stressful, and I have been ultra busy, and we have days where we are waking up and going down to Pittsburgh, an hour away, and shopping and coming home, and 12 hours later, it's like the day is gone. And I have missed a lot of social media posting, and I was I was seeing the effects from that. And I, you know, at the end of the week would sit down. I do a ton of self-evaluation. At the end of the week, I sit down and think, what can I do better? What can I do better this week? What can I change? What can I post more of? What can I do less of? And the trend recently with myself has been, you're not being consistent enough, Katie. You are not being consistent enough because you're letting things that are going on in your life be an excuse, and you are seeing negative effects from it. So totally like talking to myself in the third person, but like I have to do that to myself so I can change it to be a more consistent person on social media. So, you know, learning what your mistakes are as far as what you can change and what's not working and what can, you know, what can you do better for that week. I promise you self-evaluation is something that is so key in this business, and it can help you in the future. So being consistent so that you can be in the feed all the time. You know, obviously if you get to a point where you're like, you just have no idea what to post, you don't want to just like throw up something random. You know, we do want it to be quality versus quantity. But again, once you get in the groove of finding those things that you post about, it's just going to come naturally. So planning ahead is key, and you guys learned all about that last week, so we don't need to go into all that. And then the second thing is, which is our last slide, is fake it till you make it. You don't have to be a superstar diamond coach to be acting like you love this business and what it's done for you and why you love running challenge groups and why you love having the team that you're on, and all the positive things that coaching has done for your life. Share those things from the get-go. Share it from the beginning. Share the little things that have changed in your life. You know, whether it's a mindset change or a financial change, whatever it is, share it with your followers, because those little snippets of your life that you're showing is going to help you and your business, and it's going to help your followers understand why you keep doing what you're doing. And if you're sharing those things along the way, it's making you ultra relatable and helping those people just understand more about your coaching journey and all the changes that you're making. So fake it till you make it. You, again, don't have to be like a ranked coach or anything crazy to be sharing these things. And even if you're not in the best place yet, whether it's your mental transformation or your physical transformation, just keep faking it along the way, and over time, just like the compound effect, if you guys haven't read that, it's amazing. You know, little bit over time compounded is just going to have a great end result. So keep plugging away, keep doing, you know, social media posts daily. You have to do it every single day. You can't miss a day. And you will start to just get in the groove and have that brand that you, I don't know, that you just fall into, I guess. Anything else, Erica?
I don't think so. I think you covered it. I mean, I love that. It's just staying genuine and true to yourself and remembering that you change, you know, along this journey, and to just stay current and to kind of be an open book, you know, with whatever you're comfortable with, you know, and sharing. You know, how many times do you guys go in public and people are like, yeah, you know, I saw that you were on vacation last week. Like people that you literally think aren't paying attention, they are watching and they enjoy your journey. And just like Katie said, I mean, I look forward to people's posts in the day. So think about that. Even one person that you're impacting that is wanting to see what you're posting every day is such a humbling feeling, and there are hundreds and some of you thousands of people that are waiting for that. So remember that you're making a difference for many, many, many people.
Yay! All right, guys. Well, again, thank you for hopping on and learning some new things tonight, or just a reminder. I know a lot of this stuff is pretty basic, but just to be reminded of it and to remember how important it is to be consistent with it is super important. So if you do have any questions about anything we talked about, or anything we didn't talk about pertaining to social media that you do want to know, feel free to post in the group under our call link so that we can answer those for you. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.